Yes, Machiavelli. All right. Okay. So do you think it's acceptable for a leader to lie or break promises?
No.
If it helps the country and if it protects the country? Well, there were several leaders who lied and broke promises for the country. For example, Winston Churchill, Britain. Yeah. During the World War, he had to give speeches to the public, British public, and then things were really terrible. The situation was not going towards the direction that he wanted. But then he actually hid the fact and painted a very bright and optimistic future for the British public. He basically lied to the public, but he wanted to give hope, right? So in that situation, he was not lying for himself, but then for the spirits of the larger public. In that sense, I think it was justified. Also, Abraham Lincoln during the American Civil War, well, when there were compromises going on between the north side and then the southern side, he persuaded the border states, hey, after the war is over, uh, you don't have to change to free state because slavery already existed in your state. So I'm going to respect that. You don't have to, get rid of slavery. But he changed words later after the war was over. Every state had to, transform to free state. So he lied because he thought that he did not lie for himself, but that he lied to free the slaves who were, enslaved and captured. He lied for human rights. So in that case, the lies are justified, I think. Yeah, but if a leader lies all the time, then that's going to break the trust. It's going to undermine the trust between the leader and then the public. Then the public is not going to follow the leader any longer. So, like in rare cases, if the leader is not lying for selfish purposes, but then for a larger good, then I think lying could be justified. Yeah. Machiavelli thought that it's better for a leader to be feared than love. What do you think about this? Well, there are opposite cases. Joseph Stalin of Soviet Union, he was feared by the public. People followed him because they were afraid of being arrested or punished. But Soviet Union, it crumbled down in the early 1990s. I think if the leader is feared, for the time being, the people are going to follow him because they're afraid of him. But that kind of leadership is not going to last for a long time. Another leader is Nelson Mandela, who led South Africa. Well, he was loved by the public and he inspired the public, and then he even forgave people who oppressed him uh, after he became the president. And he was able to, unite the divided nation, and he got the Nobel Prize, Nobel Peace Prize, and he's still remembered as the best leader of African continent. So if you look at this kind of example, the leadership that, brings fear, it's not lasting for a long time, but then leadership that is love, it lasts for generations and throughout the history, I think. Yeah, historical example of a leader who, had the ways of the fox and also the strength of the lion could be, the example that I found was Elizabeth II of England. She was really cunning when she was lying, and then when she was, doing the negotiations with other countries. She told the other countries that she would never invade them, but she did. And then other countries, wanted to form an alliance with her by marriages, but she never married in her own life for the country. So she was very cunning. And she could cheat sometimes other leaders, but she did that for her own country. Also, she showed the strength of a lion. So at that time, the greatest empire was Spanish Empire, and then Spanish Empire invaded the Britain, and she bravely gave a speech that inspired the spirits of the public. She said that I have the heart of a lion and I have a strength of a lion. That's how she was able to win the war and deliver victory. Yeah, so she was able to bring the country into a golden age because she had the cunning ways of the fox and the strength of the lion. All right, so let's practice for 45 seconds, and we're gonna start with Yunu. All right, 45 seconds. Not the summary, but only your, philosophy discussion. Cover your ears and practice. Ready, set, start. Well, I think there were examples, historical examples of leaders who lied for the purpose of the public good. I think leaders lying and breaking promises can be justified only he is doing that for a larger good. If he is doing that for his own selfish purposes, that cannot be justified. For example, Abraham Lincoln during the American Civil War, uh, he lied to the border states that he's going to let them have their slavery, but he later broke that promise because the border states, actually all the states had to switch to free states and then give up their slavery. He lied not only not for his own selfish purposes, but then for a larger good, to unite the nation. Yeah, all right. So, talk, and Ruha, cover your ears and practice silently. Ready, set, start.
I think lying is only accepted when there is power to control others. It is because if we doesn't give power and just give unacceptable lies, then we have to lose power and people will be like the controller. However, if we lie on good ways, like when to encourage people to fight or like that, then we could lie and encourage people. Also, being a bad leader is inappropriate because if we become a bad leader, then people will have bad feelings for them. Then they'll cause a rebellion. Then if we cut the rebellion with force, then there will be more bad feelings for the.
Yeah, so the hostility and ill feelings would be suppressed for a short time, but then it would eventually explode into a rebellion. Very good, Yunu. Ruha, talk, and Juhyun, cover your ears and practice. Ready, set, start.
I think when it was long ago when we had a king, I think it is acceptable, but in this society, they will be impeached eventually. And for the second question, I think it is not because fear can make them quiet, but always we have we have a revolution to the tyrants. So he can be killed by the protesting people. Also, they will think him and they will hate him.
Oh, okay. In monarchy, in a medieval society, king had the absolute power, so it was okay to be feared and loved. But in a modern democratic society, the citizens got more power. So if you have that kind of fearful leadership, you can be always overthrown. You can be always impeached. So you have to be careful, even if you're the leader. Very good, Ruha. Okay, Kyun이 talk. Wenje practice silently. Ready, set, start.
So I agree with the opinion because when you are dangerous, maybe somebody can help you with a lie. So for example, I got the 60 on my math test. It is just an example. I got 60 on my math test, and my teacher saw my score and said you are 85. So she lied, but she regarded me. So I think if it is for your opponent, I think it could be justified. And I disagree about the second opinion because she that
Oh, okay. So when the leader is lying to protect the country for good purposes, it's justified. Okay, Gyuha. Lunje talk. Jinwon, cover your ears and practice. Ready, set, start.
for question number one, I agree and disagree with Machiavelli's opinion. So I agree with this the leader's duty is to protect the country and rule and develop the country well.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, the significance is in certain places. Let's imagine that we have a leader in Machiavelli and he lies to other countries and also invade them. What country wants to make an alliance with our country? I think probably no country wants to make an alliance with our country. So other countries can invade us because they can know that there's no countries that can support us while doing a war.
Okay, even in international politics, keeping the promises is very important because we need allies. Otherwise, no country is going to stand up for us when we are invaded. Very good. Jinonita, Jaewon, cover your ears and silently practice. Ready, set, start.
Machiavelli being here is better than being loved by the crowds. However, I think being loved is more important than being feared. Let me have an example of one story, which is Chuan's in Korean. There's two characters in Chuan's story. One people is Yubang and one people is Hanu. Yubang is loved by the crowds, however, Hanu is being feared and hated by the crowds. And one servant of Hanu realized the Hanu is feared by the crowd, and he betrayed Hanu. The
Wow. Oh, there were two Chinese leaders in ancient Chinese empire, and then Hamu, who was more powerful in the beginning, but he got betrayed by his own servants, and that's why he had to step down from the throne. Very good, Jiwon. So, Jaewonita, 소윤이, cover your ears and practice. Ready, set, start.
I don't think it's ever acceptable to break down a treaty like that to save our country because later it can be break down one or two treaties to save their country. But ever only one or two times if they knew that they
Yeah.
excuse of the terror.
Yeah.
For example, Yu Sung-yeol, he said he did a religious martial law to save the country from death. For the second question, there was a Hitler. So very Young Sang-gun, king of the nation, he killed the wrong people.
Yeonsan-gun. Yeah, Hitler broke many promises. He said that he would never invade, but then he did many times. So his trust was completely ruined. Very good, Jaewon. Thank you for the examples. So, Soyunita and Uyuni, cover your ears and practice.
I did Young too.
Oh, okay. Soyunita, Uyuni, cover your ears and practice. Ready, set, start.
The first question, I disagree with the first question. It is because the king has to support the country and give food to the people when there is some war or something. But if the king lies, the people will be not alike to the king, so the country will not be good. And the second question, I think the king was not the leader that loved because Yan Sang-gun was cruel and nobody liked him. But he was feared.
Oh yeah, so if you keep lying to the public, they're not gonna trust the leader. There won't be any order in the nation. Lastly, okay, Uyonita and everybody please keep still and quiet. Ready, set, start.
I think leaders shouldn't lie or treat other people because we're living in a democratic society. Keeping promises are very important in democratic society because people keep leaders by themselves. And if leaders don't work hard, they have a trouble to keep out.
Yeah.
And if leader can lie to people, he lost their trust and people wouldn't rely on them. I think the true leader must not hide anything and must be reliable.
Oh, You are in a democratic society. If you don't keep your promise, you're not going to be elected the next time. You don't have a second chance. That's why. Very good.